I'm discussing about dk or DOF. dk is equal to DOF. That means kinematic indeterminacy is known as degree of freedom. So basically, I discuss number of independent displacement components of a joint or support is your dk or is your degree of freedom. It is also defined as or number of unknown number of number of number of unknown number of unknown joint say deformation. Number of unknown joint deformation is also your dk. So I write all definition because in many examination they just give degree of freedom each. Option A, number of unknown joint deformation. Option B, number of independent displacement component of a joint and support. Option C, they give number of unknown joint displacement. Option D, they given none of these. Then they given which of the following options are correct. Option A 1 and 2, option B 1, 2 and 3, option C 1 and 3, option D 1 only. So I think this type of question will be asked in your ESC examination or even in your GATE examination. So I define DK with many definition such that you do not find any difficulty during solving those type of problems in previous year question or also in nearby future. So I define dk with many respect. So number of unknown joint deformation. So dk is also defined like this: number of unknown joint deformations. So first definition of dk is number of independent displacement component of a joint or support. Just wait. Next is your number of unknown joint deformation. Here, this deformation is also written as displacement. Many book, or I think in option, if they give number of unknown joint deformation, next option they give number of unknown joint displacement. They both are same thing. So deformation and displacement both are same for our structure analysis case. Both the word have different meaning. Both the word have different meaning because displacement is other thing, deformation is other thing. But for dealing our structure analysis, we say if deformation is possible, then our displacement is possible. If displacement is possible, then our deformation is possible. So basically our displacement is, suppose our displacement is moving from one place to another place. Example, if we move from Mumbai to Delhi, this is our displacement. If we move from Mumbai to Delhi, if we move from Mumbai to Delhi, this is our displacement. That means movement from one place to another place or moving from one place to another place is your displacement. Just take an example here. Your one cantilever beam is, just wait. Here one cantilever beam is given. On this cantilever beam, your point load or vertical load is given at your free end. So this is the state profile of your cantilever beam. You know, this is your state profile of your cantilever beam. Straight profile. Straight profile. state profile of your cantilever beam. But when this load is acting on this cantilever beam, the beam get deformed and looks like this. So this is your deformed shape. So this is your deformed shape of your beam, deformed shape. So basically this is our deformation which is occur in this cantilever beam. Deformed shape means first their profile is straight. Now the profile of this cantilever becomes curved. So this is curved profile. Curved profile. Curved profile. So when deformation occurs, then here you see also certain amount of displacement, certain amount of displacement and deflection is also seen. So this is our displacement. So I already say displacement and deformation both are two different words and both having two different meaning. But in our structure analysis, both run parallelly because if deformation occur, then displacement also occur, and if displacement occur, then our deformation is also occur. So basically these words run parallelly. So I write here number of unknown joint deformation or number of unknown joint displacement, both statement is correct. So do not get confused because in your get examination, I think in 2016 or 17, this type of question will be asked. So option A is number of independent displacement component of joint and support. Number B, number of unknown joint deformation. Number C, number of unknown joint displacements. Option D, none of these. They have given which of the following statements are correct. Option A, and this type of question they frame time to time. So basically, is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, okay, good. Now I move towards our next topic. Do not worry, I start very basic because only in your batch I also taught these basics. In every batch I just write the formula of decay in every batch because there is a time constraint in many batch, but in your batch there is no time constraint. So I teach you all slowly because I just write the formula of decay is equal to, I just write 3j minus r, that means summation of reactions, minus r plus summation of release force और समेशन ऑफ रिलीज रिएक्शन. बस इस फार्मूला को याद कर लो तुम लोग. ये तुम्हारे प्लेन फ्रेम के लिए है. हो गया, काम हो गया. बनाओ इससे. प्लेन फ्रेम का ये फार्मूला है, ये प्लेन फ्रेम का है. लेकिन चलो इससे तो न्यूमेरिकल सॉल्व हो जाएगा. जो भी तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम पूछा ये हो जाएगा. जैसे पीछे वाला प्रॉब्लम में ये फार्मूला लगाओ, प्लेन फ्रेम का यही फार्मूला था, वहाँ पे प्लेन फ्रेम ही था. फार्मूला लगाओ 3j माइनस रिएक्शन प्लस जो भी वहाँ पे अगर कोई रिलीज रिएक्शन थे उनको देखो, नहीं थे कोई, बस ये फार्मूला 3j माइनस r लगा दो, तुम्हारा आंसर आ जाएगा. तो ये फार्मूला है. फिर आगे इसका ही हम लोग प्लेन फ्रेम का देख लिए. अब ट्रस का देखता, बीम का देखता, काम खत्म हो गया. तो ठीक है, वो भी आएगा टाइम के साथ, तो डोंट वरी. ठीक है. सो आवर नेक्स्ट पॉइंट ऑफ डिस्कशन इज टाइप्स ऑफ डिस्प्लेसमेंट. सो बेसिकली I discuss about decay or degree of freedom. So types of types of displacements. Types of displacement. I already say displacement or deformation both are same for your structure analysis. So basically displacement have two types. Displacement have two types. If you know all the types of displacement, that means you know all the type of displacement component. If you know all the type of displacement component, then it is easier for you to count those all displacement components, because if you do not know how many types of displacement will be possible for a particular joint or at a support, then you have find difficulty during counting number of displacement or number of deformation. So just you observe here, there are two types of displacement. One is one is your one is your deflection. Deflection possible in your structure. So one is your deflection and other is your what? Rotation. One is your deflection and next one is your rotation. Next one is your rotation. ROTA, rotation. Basically, this displacement is your position movement of a structure. Position movement. This deflection is your position movement or position change. You also saw displacement is your position change. Position change. Here rotation means your angular change or rotational movement, you can say, is your angular change. GULAR, angular change. This is your position change. This is your angular change. Basically, position change are there are many type of your deflection. Types of deflection or types of position change. First is your axial deflection. Axial deflection possible in your structure. So first one is your axial. First one is your axial deflection. सब सो गए या जिंदा हो?
जिंदा है सर, जिंदा है।
जिंदा है सर।
ओके ओके, ठीक है ठीक है. First one is your axial deflection. Second one is your vertical. Second one is your vertical deflection. And third one is your vertical के बाद horizontal deflection. So third one is your horizontal deflection. Here angular change have also many types. First one is your change in slope. Change in slope. That means slope is your type of rotational movement. So slope, I think second one is your twisting. Second one is your twisting. Second one is your twisting. Twisting occurs due to your torsional movement or torsion. Slope occurs due to your bending movement. Axial deflection occurs due to your axial forces. Vertical deflection, horizontal deflection, these all occurs due to shear forces. Take an example. Just you observe here. Here you have one simply supported beam, and on this beam, if one UDL is running, okay, due to this load, your beam bends like, due to this load, your beam bends like this. Your bend shape is this. So basically, this is the theta angle. This is the theta angle. So this is one type of displacement. Also, here you see your top chord or your state profile will form the curve profile, and these are also deflections. So basically these are deflections, or these are your theta value or delta. These are your delta value or del value. So basically there are two type of displacement. One is your deflection, other is your rotation. Deflection means position change. Here you see your state profile position will be change to curve profile. So basically here a point, here a point which is point P will come here. So basically a point which is here, P point will come here. So basically this is the position change of a point P. So basically this P come here because this is on state profile, this is on your curve profile. So basically this is your position change of which? Position change of point P. So this is our deflection. So I write deflection as delta or delta. Delta is also written in this manner, delta is also written in this manner. Basically here also your angular change is possible. Here angle, that means here your, you see on state profile here, from here, from state to curve profile, certain angle will be formed. So from state profile to curve profile, certain angle will be formed. So basically this angle is your angular change or your rotation. So this is your slope. Or you also see twisting, because during torsion discussion I also say you, this is your shaft, this is your shaft, this is your shaft. This is your shaft. This is the central or longitudinal axis of your shaft. Suppose you have 2 points, or suppose you have 1 point, which is A. Here you have a point A. Here you have a point A. Suppose here you have a point A. Here you have a point A, and you have a, here you have a point A dash. Suppose this point, you apply a torque here. Due to application of this torque, the point which is on longitudinal axis, this point A is on longitudinal axis. due to application of this torque, this point moves to this position. This position I write as A dash. So basically, certain angle will be formed from original position to changing position. This is also your theta, and this theta is your twisting angle. So basically, this theta is your twisting angle. So this all comes in your rotation part. So I think I discussed what is your degree of kinematic indeterminacy. I also discussed what are the uh, different displacements or deformation possibles in a structure. There are two types of displacement of deformation possible in a structure. One is for deflection, other is for your rotation. Also deflection is your position change, deflection is your position change. So position change may be axial position change, vertical position change, horizontal position change. Next, your displacement may be rotational change, that means rotational change may be slope change, maybe uh, slope change or theta change due to twisting moment. So basically these are all displacement. So basically you have to add all the value of deflection, you have to add all the value of deflection and all the value of rotation. Then you add all the value of displacement or for calculating displacement, because in calculation of dk, in calculation of dk or degree of freedom, because both are same thing. So in calculation of dk or degree of freedom or degree of freedom or degree of freedom, you have to count degree of freedom. So basically degree of freedom is number of independent displacements, number of independent displacements component at a particular joint or a particular support. Or this is also defined, that means decay is also defined number of unknown joint deformation or displacement. So basically we have to count number of displacement. I already know displacements may be due to deflection and displacement may be due to rotation. So at a particular joint, so here is a frame, just observe here. Here is a frame. Here is a frame. So you have to count. Here is a joint. Here is also another joint. Here is also another joint. Here is also another joint. So everywhere you have to count total number of displacement possible at a joint. So during calculation of or during counting of number of displacement at a particular joint, you have to count number of deflection possible at that joint or not, and also number of rotation that is possible at that joint or not. If you add number of deflection with number of rotation, then you get the value of displacement. Okay, is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think I cover all
Very
the
much.
base. Okay, I think I cover all the basic aspects of your kinematic indeterminacy. I move or I move towards next topic, which is your general formula for decay. I derive a general formula for decay. Then I use that general formula for frame also, for truss also, and for other structure also. So basically, your decay, that means your kinematic indeterminacy, is also known as degree of freedom. Decay is denoted as decay. Decay is denoted as decay. Degree of freedom is denoted as DOF, that means degree of freedom. Basically, decay or degree of freedom is number of independent displacements components of a joint and support. Next definition is number of unknown joint deformation or displacement. I also say deformation and displacement are two different words, but during our structure analysis, I include or club both words simultaneously, because displacement means movement of a one movement of a anything, movement from one place to another place or movement from one position to other position is your displacement. Basically deformation means changing shape or form. So here shape or form is changed from state profile to curve profile. This structure will come. So here change in shape or change of form will occur. I already discussed by taking an example of cantilever. We first see state profile of a cantilever, then we apply a load on free end of a cantilever, then we see the state profile of your cantilever will get deformed to curve profile. I also define how your curve profile is known as your deformed profile or your deformed structure. Then between state profile and your curve profile a displacement is occur. Then I discuss types of displacement. There are two types of displacement. One type is deflection, other is your rotation. Deflection is your position change. Position change may be your axial, position change may be your vertical, position change may be your horizontal. Axial deflection is occurs due to axial force, because I already discussed axial force. Your vertical deflection and horizontal deflection will occur due to shear force. If you change your orientation of shear force, then your vertical will become horizontal and horizontal will become vertical. So basically horizontal deflection and your vertical deflection occurs due to your shear force. Now rotational movement or your is your angular change. Angular change have two types. One is your slope, next one is your twisting. Slope due to bending movement. I also discuss here a slope is seen here. Also I discuss how twisting moment or twisting angles will come in picture. So I think I discussed all the technical aspects of your decay before going into general formula, before driving general formula for decay. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, good. So my next point of discussion is general formula for decay. So I derive a general formula for decay. Don't worry. General formula for decay. I think I need two class or your decay part, and also in two class I solve so many problems on decay. So on I think on Thursday 3 to 4 420 I complete this part, and also on Friday I will complete your stability parts. So on next week your 95% portion of model 1 will be completed. Model 2 is very easy because I think much of part will be covered by Reena madam. Model 2 have different types of load, concrete design, steel design. I think Reena madam already taught you all. Reena madam discuss different types of design of concrete or not? रीना मैडम पढ़ा दी हैं तुम लोगों को डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ लोड, डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ कंक्रीट डिजाइन, ये सब पढ़ा दी हैं? कोई बताओगे?
पढ़ा रही है
डिजाइन पर।
ओके ओके, चलो ठीक है ठीक है। वही है हमारा नेक्स्ट मॉडल भी। नेक्स्ट है आई थिंक जनरल फार्मूला फॉर डीके. So basically I derive a general formula for decay. Don't worry. Decay is equal to degree of freedom. Degree of freedom is equal to nj. This formula is not given in any book, so you write this formula nj minus c plus summation of release force. I write release force H RR, also I write this release force as RR. Someone saying, sir, in DS you subtract this RR, but here you add RR. So don't worry, I discussed this point. During discussion of DS, I subtract this RR value, but here I add RR value because whenever some forces are released, you already know whenever some forces are, just wait. You already know whenever some forces are released, then additional degree of freedom, that means slope and deflection, are possible. Basically, here if internal hinge is present in your member, so you already know additional degree of freedom is possible here. Additional, that means your bending moment is possible. So here we take RR value as 1. So we already know here additional degree of freedom is possible. So we have to count that degree of freedom in dk. So here we add our dk. So when forces are released, corresponding deformations are possible. When forces are released from a member, then at that position possible deformations are occur. Okay, so basically this is the general formula of dk. This is the general formula of dk. Here n means, n is your number of independent displacement possible at a joint. J is your number of joint. C is number of constraint or reaction, or it is also known as C is number of compatibility condition. C is also known as number of unknown deformations, and you already know RR, that means your release reaction. So basically I write here n is equal to number of, just remember this formula, I derive all the formula from this formula. Number of independent number of independent displacement possible at a joint. Number of independent displacement possible at a joint. Number of independent displacement possible at a joint. At a joint. This is the meaning of N. J is number of joint. J is number of joint. And C is also known as your R. C is also denoted as your R. So basically R is your number of constraints or number of reaction. This is, in many book they write R or C as number of compatibility conditions. It is also correct. Number of compatibility condition. Compatibility. Compatibility. PATI. BILITY. Number of compatibility conditions. So basically this is the general formula of your dk. dk is equal to degree of freedom. Degree of freedom is equal to nj minus c plus summation of force release or RR. Basically n is equal to number of independent displacement possible at a joint. J is your, here J is your number of joint. Here J is your number of joint. C is your number of constraint or number of reaction, or it is also known as number of compatibility condition. In many book it is also written C is number of unknown deformation, and here RR is your number of related reaction. So I think just remember this formula. From this formula I derive the formula for plane frame like this. I write dk is equal to, for plane frame, dk is equal to 3j, right? dk is equal to 3j, 3 into j minus summation of, right, minus summation of c or summation of r here, right, because c and r both are same thing. So summation of r minus, sorry, add rr, this formula, we get dk is equal to 3j minus summation of rr plus r. So in next class I discuss how we take 3 as number of independent displacement possible at a joint for your plane rigid frame. So basically we take n value as 3, j is common, and also your r value is common, or c value is common, and also your rr value is common. So just by using this formula we find dk of any structure. So is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
okay, wait. So I end today's session here. Next week I continue from this point. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.